No, no, no. I know this may come as like a oh crazy video because it's like it's kind of my job, you know. This is like my whole genre of games that I make videos on. I'm aware of that, but realistically, this genre sucks.
What do you mean by that?
Realistically, if you take into consideration the coreness of what the gameplay is, it's really boring. Like, realistically, in asymmetrical horror games, like Forsaken, Pillar Chase, Outcome Memories, Die of Death, you get the idea, you really only have two ways of surviving. And if that's not with your abilities, then through the core mechanics of the game, that's with either looping or juking.
Dude, what the hell is this take? There are many ways to survive, like being supportive of your teammates and keeping them alive, or, if we go the lame way, hiding or staying far away from the killer. Also, you bring up outcome memories when you said all games are just looping and juking, when looping and juking in that game is not a great playstyle, as each killer is always faster than you and have at least one ability to catch up to you.
And that gameplay gets repetitive very quickly.
You only say that because that's the only playstyle you prefer as a survivor.
There are things that are in the game that people like to call good, and it just has me confused because it's like some of these things that people praise in these games are some of the things that make it so shitty.
Congrats, you discovered what an opinion is.
They actually self-inserted themselves as the character's owner, like the color and electricity skin. They self-inserted themselves. The developer did this, right? They self-inserted themselves instead of the actual character getting their own animations. They gave the developer a custom kill animation with the character. Look, I'm all for doing like, oh, you can like self-insert, you know, your own characters here and there and that. But when you do it in a way that's so fucking weird, and it's just like, they did this, by the way. They gave themselves their own death animation with this character, but they didn't do it for the character that's actually connected to the character.
And that's a bad thing. It's just a singular death animation for a dev that really likes the song. This game is based off it doesn't affect gameplay at all. Plus, genuinely, who cares? It's a death animation. Only like 5% of the people who play that game would see.
Character. Do you get what I mean? You get what I'm saying? They gave these two, a developer and a skin, color and electricity, a death animation, custom death animation for that developer, but not for the survivor's skin, the 007 skin, that's actually connected to the character, the color and electricity skin. So it's just like, I think the developers are fucking weird.
All because of a death animation for a dev skin. You sure it is not all of the other things that the Forsaken dev team are doing? It's because a dev likes the song and wanted to add that to Forsaken.
And then we get into other games that have other imperfections, and this is mostly with balancing. Now, a lot of games have balancing issues, okay, I get that, but that doesn't mean you give the game some gratis, you know, like, oh, the game's bad, but you know, it's still fun. No, it's not, dude.
Just because you don't like it doesn't mean others can like it. People can form their own opinions and like the games, even if they know their flaws.
Games have to have a decent set of balancing in order for them to be enjoyable. Take Break In and Steal Things, for instance. I played it recently. The game is still fucking shit. And people want to tell me, oh, it's not. No, it still sucks. The concept is horrible. It's not a horrible concept, but it's a horrible implementation for the game's genre. It doesn't really blend well together. Exactly like Corrupted Crossroads. The two things that they're trying to combine, they don't go hand in hand together.
Can you explain why, or are you gonna just leave it at that?
Now back to the balancing issue side of things. I like to bring up a game like Outcome Memories a lot, because if I'm being completely honest, for its release, it was a pretty unbalanced game. Let's say that. If anything, most of the survivors were pretty strong, especially Eggman.
Honestly, I agree as well. As someone who has almost 2 years of balancing experience ever since I played PC to back, when we lost the newest killer, Outcome Memories balancing is kinda garbage even nowadays, with killers like Fleetway or Tripwire.
I know it's some of those fucking YouTubers that just want to glorify it and show it off to their fans.
So they can't promote a game they like to other people. Also, you're kind of a hypocrite, as you did this to Mines Hollow, Piggy Rush, and Reckless.
Anyways, moving on. Map designs. Let's get into map designs. Oh, map designs are quite important when it comes to asymmetrical games, especially when you consider how the games are intended to be played. Let's get into outcome memories, for example. Yeah, just really hammering at them. Maps like You Can't Run, Green Hill, Not Perfect, Angel Island, all of these maps are just pretty fucking shit. Yeah. That's just the best way to describe them.
Have you ever considered they are that cause the game is fast-paced and the maps need to be more open, so that people can move around more?
Especially when you consider how the characters are supposed to be played. Oh, you have to jump to juke, you have to use your abilities, you have to have teamwork. Either these maps are too big, or they're so absurdly annoying to traverse. It's just like, who created these maps?
Have you ever considered they are that cause the game is fast-paced and the maps need to be more open, so that people can move around more?
It's like, they just kind of made these maps, and then they didn't even bother to play on them. Like, I really don't understand what goes through the minds of testers or the dev team. I'm not throwing any shit towards them. I'm really not, of course. This is my job, you know, I critique, I guess. I think the developers are fucking weird, you know? I mean, you're watching my video. I'm getting paid to... You're watching my video, you know? Give me your money. give me money. But no. I think map design is a very, very big, important play. But in a game like Outcome Memories, where you have to be very efficient with your teamwork, not knowing where your teammates are is very, very, very detrimental to you. And with such big maps like Green Hill, or even like You Can't Run, it gets to a point where it's just like, man, this sucks, you know? It sucks to play on because you don't know where you're going.
Almost anyone on You Can't Run literally stands in the big open area in the map, so finding your teammates in there half the time is not hard.
Take a game like Pillar Chase, for example. Most of the monsters lack aura reading, which means that they can't find survivors. And if the map is too big, they're kind of just fucked. They can't do anything, and it really sucks. That's why I feel like every killer in the game should have an aura reading ability, right? That's what's very important. If you're gonna make such a big map, give every monster an aura reading ability. Blade, please do that. Give Stricken aura reading, please. It makes him easier to play. Pretty please. I beg. A lot of you were recommending me all these cool games, you know, quote unquote cool, right? These interesting games that you wanted me to play or you wanted me to do reviews on, and I'm gonna be completely honest. Some of these games just suck. You're saying, oh, they're underrated. Oh, they're really cool. Oh, you want me to hear? I'm not gonna. No, they're not good. Because either these asymmetrical games are either trying to be unique and fail at doing so.
National Treasure. It's meant to be another asymmetrical horror game. So there's a killer, but it doesn't play like an asym, so it makes the killer feel like it's here out of obligation, not because it's a horror game.
Are pretty much just copy pastas of each other, or they just fucking suck. There's just no in between. It's none.
No matter what you drench it in, it's still meat on a bun.
I had been seeing a lot of teasers for this one game called Bite by Night, and I believe it's a FNAF styled asymmetrical game that plans on releasing. So it's cool. The animations look cool. Everything looks nice. High quality. But will it turn out to be good? Who knows? Because just because a game looks high quality here and there doesn't mean it's a good game. I think we need to stop, you know, we need to stop overhyping good looking games.
I fully agree, to be honest. Everyone keeps glazing block down saying that it's gonna be the best Forsaken rival or a game that will dethrone Forsaken. Best example being this.
This game looks actually so fun for something that we have seen zero gameplay from. Yes, I'm well aware that we do need to see gameplay before I can instantly say this game is amazing. That being said, I am extremely optimistic based on what very little info we have been given.
Some chase themes just suck. Like, I'm gonna be honest, the music in games like Doom by Fate and Corrupted Crossroads suck.
I ran out of sound effects.
I'll just say that. Maybe it's just my own taste, but they really just suck. And I'm just being as nice as I can. I could just say they sound like shit, but no, they just suck. There's nothing really more to say about it. I feel like they kind of just tend to sound more like a regular song than anything else. It doesn't sound like a chase theme. It doesn't feel like I'm being chased. It just sounds like some track that's just kind of there.
Most of Die of Death's OST by your logic aren't chase themes, but they don't count because you said that it's a joke game.
Right, they're not supposed to be scary like Die of Death, Biased, all, you know, those joke games, right? The joke games.
If you say that Corrupted Crossroads and Doom by Fate's OST are bad because they don't sound like chase themes but negate Die of Death is a bad argument.
It just kind of plays when I'm being chased, but it doesn't make me feel like I'm being chased. Does that make sense? Like, the base slasher theme in Forsaken, as of right now, sounds really good because it makes me feel like I'm being chased. It actually invokes a bit of fear into me.
This chase theme sounds absolutely insane. It has so many different parts and actually sounds like you're being chased.
Ooh, it's scary sounding. It's got the nice slasher, you know, type of vibes, and I like that. Right? Horror survival games should have chase themes that actually scare you. That's quite literally the point of it, but that's just a nitpick. Now, those were just a bunch of things that I wanted to throw out about asymmetrical games, you know, because I feel like the genre has become so boring that these developers are kind of just sucking the life out of the genre, right? They're pretty much just sucking and dragging and pulling at the cow that has no milk left to give. There's nothing left. Inevitably, these games are going to fall. The hype is going to die down, and we're just going to go back to playing our little simulators and tycoons and obbies and this and that.
Just because a genre dies doesn't mean people can still play them. Best case example is Baldur's Basics. There were a ton of fan games and mods for it, and even after its popularity died, there are still people who play their mods and fan games and even make more.
You know, as cool as these games may be, it's just the basic loop or juke to survive type of dealio. And that sucks. And that gameplay just isn't for me anymore. It was fun, I had my moments, but it's just not fun anymore. And yeah. I'm sure there are maybe going to be some unique concepts that come out here now and then that can maybe spice up the asymmetrical horror type of thing, you know, the 1v8 type of thing. And I feel like one of the only ones that really do that is Reality Compromised. And that's because it's not really an asymmetrical game, a horror game, right? It's a Juggernaut game. A lot of people like to attach the titles and, you know, try to determine which one's which, but it's more of a Juggernaut game than it is an asymmetrical game.
Then why did you bring it up then?
At its core. So yeah, let's just push it to the side because it's not really a part of this, you know, in this scenario. And I'm not saying that asymmetric games are bad. I'm just saying that they suck as a genre.
This video wasn't made to harass this guy, it was just my own opinion on his opinion in a game genre and me pointing out certain flaws he made. Harassing only makes things worse and doesn't help any situation. I don't have a tapo clip to put in the end of this video, so instead I have this.
That idea turns into real gameplay. His passive is literally called a man of many. That already tells you the devs are leaning into his ego and pettiness.